Hello, friends. Thank you for joining us at the Main Ingredients Bread of Life Devotionals. I can't think of a better way to start our week out than to get into the Word. Today's devotional is coming from 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4 through 6. And we're continuing in this series called Strength of Faith. And so Paul says to the church in Thessalonica, "For we speak as messengers approved by God to be entrusted," remember that word, entrusted, "with the good news. Our purpose is to please God, not people. He alone examines the motives of our hearts. Never once did we try to win you with flattery, as you well know. And God is our witness that we were not pretending to be your friends just to get your money. And as for human praise, we never sought it from you or anyone else." Going back to this word, entrusted. Can God trust you? Verse 4 says, "For we speak as messengers approved by God to be entrusted with the good news." We speak as messengers who have been chosen by God because he can trust us with this good news. And so what is this trust based off of? Is it based off merit? Is it based off of anything that we've did? Or is it based off anything that we will do? Or is it based off of grace? Is it based off of God's macro plan for salvation for humanity? Is it based off of the fact that God is omnipresent, so he was present in the moment where he knew you would say yes to his calling? How do we know that God can trust us? Well, we know that he can trust us because he knows us. He's the one who made us. He's the one who put the things in us to make us trustworthy. Has God ever called someone he couldn't trust? And you say, well, Pastor, what about those who didn't finish strong? Did God make a mistake? And we say, no. We don't know God. We don't know the end from the beginning. We only see a micro view of God's plan, and God's plan is this big macro view and picture. And so whatever happens according to God's will. So those who didn't finish strong was a fulfillment of God's plan. We question it because we can't see it. We question it because it doesn't make sense to our human minds. We question it because we can't see the end from the beginning. We only see the present. We only see the past. We can't see the tomorrow. And so we become confused. But we don't worry about that. We don't fixate on that. We fixate on the fact that we have been chose. We have been chose to be entrusted with the good news. And so it's up to us to be trustworthy, right? We have been called, but we still have free will. And most times our free will gets in the way. Most times our free will causes us to fall. We must maintain a commitment to obedience, and this strengthens the trust. A commitment to obedience strengthens the trust. God trusted Jesus to fulfill his plan. Jesus trusted the Father to go through with the plan. Jesus was obedient unto death, and that was the foundation of the trust. Our obedience is a foundation of the trust that the Father has for his children. What is he trusting us to do? To speak as messengers, to share the good news, and not to speak for our own selves or on our own behalf. To have pure motives, not self-motivation. To be honest and transparent and to not deceive. To keep the main thing, and don't be led by greed. To give the praise where the praise is due and not expected for ourselves. And so I ask you again, can God trust you? Can God trust you to speak as a messenger approved by him to share the good news? My prayer is that Holy Spirit would help us to be trustworthy servants. At the Main Ingredient, we're setting the table for transformation.